Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a reading for the collective. I just want to thank all of you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I would invite you to do so and hit the bell notification button just so you can be notified when I post new readings. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never email you or contact you first to solicit for private readings. I will never do that through the comments or anything like that. I do offer private readings, and that information can be found in the About section on my YouTube page. So this is by request, this reading, and it's going to talk all about family today. 4-card spread. 4 cards is the base spread, 4 cards clarifier, and 1 oracle card just to set the tone for the reading today. I'm going to be using just a standard Rider-Waite, which I have not used yet on this channel, just because there's some depictions of that might not be YouTube safe. If I come across them, I will cover them up with my hand. And we're going to use the Elemental Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. It's such a beautiful deck. Something maybe you should know about me is that I'm such a space geek. I'm obsessed with space. Everything outer space, I'm obsessed with it. So I hope all of you are doing well. I hope you guys got to check out your other readings on this channel, Person on Your Mind, your love readings, general readings. We're going to get back to the general readings pretty soon. But right now I just wanted to do something a little more specialized because it's fun. Let's pull the first card for you as the overall energy. This is for family. You got protection, and the word is cave. So this deck has to do with, it says alchemy, science, magic. So there are kind of a lot of beautiful imagery. This one has to do, it's like earth itself is a nest, and there's an egg right in the center. And you know, this character, it reminds me of the 4 of Pentacles card in the tarot, which surprisingly, when I was shuffling right before I turned on the camera, I can't prove it to you, but you just have to believe me, my hand kind of swiped against the deck and I turned the card over. I just wanted to see what that was, and it was the 4 of Pentacles. So Spirit has a way. Maybe that's just for me, I don't know, but that was because I don't have it on camera, but that's not an accident. There might be a sense of protection within your family right now. Maybe finances are tight, or you're having to hold on to your assets. We shall find out. But this is kind of a wacky card, right? It looks like these depictions of, I mean, it looks like Mother Earth and kind of blown out and made surreal, but it actually reminds me of virus, sickness, toxicity in a scientific sense, and depictions of and imagery of those kinds of things. So there's a lot of mixed messages here, but I'm here to just say them all out loud, which is maybe there's some toxic energy in your family right now that you are having to deal with. And if you've come to this reading, chances are, if you're even open to tarot at all, then you are a light worker of sorts. You're somebody who is here to break generational curses and heal family lineage. And I even chose one of my favorite Mookaite crystals. This is a crystal of family lineage healing. It comes in different colors, but I'm always drawn to the purple lavender ones. So I have this on the table for you. So perhaps there is something going on in your family unit right now, your immediate family unit. Could be talking about a soul tribe, but I've asked Spirit to focus on the family, your bloodline, or the family you grew up with. Or how about that? If it's not your bloodline, if you were adopted, or you were just simply raised by another group of people that you consider your family. There's something here that has been gestating, brewing, hasn't kind of broken through. I see this kind of like not a regular egg, kind of like a dragon's egg. You know, dragons can be, can be amazing symbols. When I had my Akashic records read, I was told that there's a dragon that is protecting me. So my relationship to dragons and your relationship may be different. Just take it as it resonates. She is looking down. I mean, she's looking down almost towards her own body, but towards also this egg that may be ready to hatch. So there could be a conversation that needs to be had within your family. A conversation dealing with healing. Maybe somebody needs an intervention. Maybe somebody just needs to hear your kind words or your harsh ones, depending on what they did. Using the Rider-Waite, it's been pre-shuffled, so I'm going to pull for 4 cards now. I never choose the cards. I just shuffle for them and let them pop out. So, a whole bunch popped out just now. And it was the exact amount I needed. And we're done. 8 cards on the table. The very first position in this family reading is challenges. What are the challenges right now? You have, see, I already made that mistake. You have the Star. Star is a card of, normally it would be a card of healing, wish fulfillment, wishing upon a star. There's kind of one, it is the card of Aquarius. It represents Aquarius in the tarot. 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on land. So it's this idea of connection between the subconscious, emotional realms, the psychic realms, the intuition, and also a groundedness, being on the land, being in the real world. So we're not, so sometimes, as a water sign, sometimes I've been told that I'm not often, I mean, it's very obvious, I will be the first one to admit it, but that I'm a very emotional person, and I'm not ashamed of that. I don't want to be a robot out in the world. However, if our emotions kind of get away from us, then it's not a good thing. We need to be grounded. We need to be in a place where we can balance both. And we can balance our emotions with what's actually happening right in here and now. And it's clarified by the 3 of Pentacles, which is the card of co-creation with spirit. At least that's how I interpret the card. There is a kind of cathedral being built, and you would have here the entity of spirit, the architect. You have a monk and and the carpenter. So it's the idea that people have to come together. And right now, with this energy, they may not be coming together in the collective source of healing. Maybe some people in your family are, maybe they're really, really open to it, but then you have kind of a few outliers who are resistant to saying things out loud. Maybe they're passive aggressive. Maybe they're afraid to be vulnerable. And it's a challenging thing when you're trying to build something with a solid foundation, right? I'm really drawn to the fact that this is an arch. So in my very rudimentary architecture classes, archways were this kind of engineering marvel, because in the middle of the archway is the keystone. And that would then lead me to the word linchpin, which would lead me to think of destructive things. It's kind of going down the path of connection, right? So the archway and the keystone would be located at the top. It's like you make all of the bricks in a certain shape, and then the keystone in the middle is the one that is the compromising one, the one that breaks its shape to accommodate the shapes around it. So that leads me to think that, maybe you are the child or the parent or the spouse who is the one who's having to be the go-between. You are the diplomatic entity in your family, or you're the one that's having to walk on eggshells so that other people are, because other people are too fragile, to be honest with you. They're too fragile. They're too, they can't handle it like you can handle it. I've often been that person in my family. I'm middle kid now. I'm the oldest kid now, but I was the middle kid, and having to negotiate spaces in between, and that's really frustrating sometimes. And when it travels into adulthood for you, you find yourself adapting to that position in work situations, friendship circles. You are the consummate mediator. Okay, so maybe you know, because you've also probably done some work on yourself, where you're trying to, if you've shown up to this reading, that healing needs to happen within your family. You're trying to find a way to enact that healing. What's the best approach? What's the best way that we can construct something that's more solid, that we can mend things so that they can prosper. You know, I said keystone, and then it led me to linchpin, right? If I were to tell you you were a linchpin character, you're a linchpin person in your family, your social group, it's like everything almost relies on you or circles around you. And that's a hell of a responsibility, to be in charge of all of that. And then I said linchpin led me to the idea of destruction, right? I don't want to say out loud, I think we all know, but if, in case you don't, like in war times, linchpin would be the thing that you would pull, and then things would, you get what I'm saying. So, at least that's what, I don't know if that's actually the correct term, but this is what I'm thinking, and so this is what I'm going to say. So, it's almost as if you being the linchpin, if you were pulled, the entire thing would explode, collapse. You're the glue that keeps everything together, and you find it exhausting. But it doesn't, you find it exhausting, but you're still trying because you love. You're wishing for something so outstandingly beautiful. You know that people are capable of that. You know that it's what your family unit deserves. How to get there, how to cultivate something so that when it's cooking, by the end, you're going to have something that's nourishing, that provides sustenance to your family unit. What I wanted to say was, who helps the helpers? When you're always in the position of being the helper, who helps you? Who helps the helpers? It's something to, I'm actually going to pull a card on it because I want to know why Spirit put that into my head. Who helps the helpers? Queen of Pentacles. Well, everybody looks at you as somebody who is the one who is abundant. You have everything going on. Queen of Pentacles is very prosperous. You can see how lush her surroundings are. She's looking down at her pentacle, much the same way that this woman is looking down at her egg. Perhaps it's an idea of, I only have one left. Who do I give it to? I only have one left. That's probably for just one person out there. But lush all the same. Compassionate, beautiful, really, really giving. Spirit's telling me this is you, because I asked for the clarification. You, as the Queen of Pentacles, male or female, everything in between. not gender specific at all, but does represent divine feminine energy, as we have divine feminine and masculine within all of us, not gendered. You are the Queen of Pentacles. You are a beautiful spirit who, you may have an overabundance of love, but that doesn't mean that you can't, you shouldn't be stopping to recharge every once in a while. And so Spirit is saying, you know, I see that you have one pentacle, one main pentacle right now. It's good if you held on to it for just a little while. Allow that pentacle to procreate. Allow that pentacle to multiply so that you have a little bit more resources to work with, even if it's just from a spiritual, emotional space, right? It's like, I don't see any cups cards here, but you can't fill from an empty cup. You can't give to others if you're just have an empty tank. It's really important that you don't do that. In the area of finances, family and finances, you got the Fool card in reverse, so nobody's taking any risks right now. And even if they wanted to, they don't, there might not be a feeling of being supported by Spirit. There may be a little lack of faith in the family right now, maybe within your own heart. Maybe you're in this place where it's like, I don't know how I'm going to make ends meet. And the idea of jumping off this cliff into the great beyond and just trusting Spirit, that's just really hard for me right now, because clarified by the Five of Wands, a fire energy. It's like there's so much chaos and conflict, and I'm just trying to settle all of that first. So I don't know if there's like an inheritance, or people are fighting over material possessions or responsibilities. Is what I just heard. Who's gonna do what? Who's gonna take care of mom? Who's gonna take care of dad? Who's gonna take care of the pets or the kids or the cars? And we have to sell this, and who's gonna do all that? I can't do everything. And it's just that you in the middle, just like, oh my gosh, can we just, I just need that conversation to stop. I'm tired. So it's kind of like, in terms of your finances, it's trying to sort through. Maybe you have a lot of outstanding debt right now, and you're just trying to kind of, you know what I see? I see aluminum cans on a log, and like target practice, and just trying to nick one bottle off at a time. Can I just take care of one? If I can just cross that off my list, that'll be great. Cross that debt off my list. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the next one. Just cross that one off my list. It's not a bad strategy, but Spirit is saying the Fool energy showed up for a reason, that there may be some endeavor that could be a great idea, and could be worth the investment and worth the time, worth the risk, worth the having faith in Spirit to go after it. What is this, Spirit? I'm gonna ask for another card. Is there a good idea? Yes, Ace of Wands. Spirit gave you something. All aces come from Spirit. The Wands is fire energy. It's ignition. It's like the jumping off point. The jumping off point. But energetically, well, and practically too, it's like you have a good idea. There's something, you know, and maybe that good idea isn't like, oh, I'm just gonna go start a new business. It might not be about that, but maybe you're looking in terms of finances. Maybe you're looking to consolidate your debt, and maybe you're gonna take out a loan to pay the other loans, but maybe it brings your monthly payment down. Or perhaps you're going to ask, maybe you'll ask a family member to help you, if they're in a position where they can help financially. And maybe they're totally willing but you might be a little proud to ask for help. Spirit is saying, no, you know, they've been introduced into your life for a reason, or something that they have, you know, took off, and now they're in a place where they can help. And it's not about you taking advantage, nothing of the sort, but it's about you saying, hey, you know, could you give me some new ideas? Can you tell me how you did it? Can you advise me? Can you point me in the right direction? Could be something like that in terms of your finances. So whatever it is, whatever creative way Spirit is presenting it to you at this time, and you may be really, really caught up in like a lot of financial family jumble, and Spirit is saying, okay, just take a step back for a moment and see what resources you have. Take stock of the resources that you have at this time, and then make some smart decisions about it. I'm hearing that voice in my head again saying, why do I have to be the one to do it? That's what I hear. Somebody said that. Why do I have to be the one to do it? Well, I don't know. Maybe it's part of your destiny. It's your part of your karma. But all I know is that you're the one that's capable of doing it. And if we have the capability of doing something, then we owe it to ourselves to try. Because what if your great idea, you know, solves a lot of problems for you in the future, that you investing in something right now benefits you in the long run? You may not see that immediate impact. It may not be tomorrow that you reap the rewards, but it will put you in the right direction. Right? So in terms of your health and your goals, which is the next group of cards, health and goals, it's really affirming what I just said. This is the Page of Pentacles, Sun card, best card in the deck. And I'm reading, I don't know how I end up reading at this time of, I've had all day to do readings and I just took a big long nap, but I'm sitting in golden hour right now, and here comes the sun, you know? So I'm going to cover it up like this, actually. Here comes the sun. So it's this idea in terms of your health and goals. You've got good ideas. It's just about taking that teeny tiny step forward. Page of Pentacles is student energy, is that initial step forward, where we can make some phone calls, write some emails, have short conversations, you know, go out and, I just heard, buy that outfit for the new job that you're going to get. It's like dress for success, dress for the part that you want to play, dress for the job that you want to work, right? That's what I just heard. I don't know why. That's very specific. But with this, with the sun card, and I'm trying to cover up the card, but the sun ends up being over this character. It's almost like lifting your effort up to illumination, that there's going to be so much clarity that comes in and so much abundance that comes in. It's the best card of the deck. Sun is life-giving force. So in terms of taking care of your health, maybe it's also referencing going outside and make sure that you're getting your vitamin D. Make sure that you're, we just surpassed the last day of the year when the sun sets after, the last day of the year where the sun sets after 8 o'clock. So now it's going to, at least in the northern hemisphere, so now the sun will start to set before 8 o'clock. And you know what that means. It means that fall and winter are going to come faster than we know. It's really important for you to be outside, for you to be basking in the sun, for you to take that one, or those couple last trips to a sunny place, the beach, the lake, the woods, where you can enjoy connecting back, right? It was all about this energy, connecting back to the earth, connecting back to spirit. It's important. Your health affects everything. It affects your whole mood. It affects how you problem solve. You know, I was kind of I went to bed very late last night, and around 4:30 in the morning, I went to bed around 3:30 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, and I still don't know why Spirit does this. So I live in a city, and it's a very busy intersection that's right in front of my apartment building. And oftentimes, but it's not like on the main drag, and oftentimes either drunk people or people that are in a very angry space, and I'm talking tremendously angry space, end up fighting underneath my bedroom window. I've lost count. There's a whole big old street. There's a route here. Like, that's how big that street is. But they come on this side street. They don't even live in this building. I don't know where the heck they're going. They stop right in front of my window. Last night, it was a man and a woman, and I didn't look out the window because I was in bed, kind of not cursing because there was enough of that going around, but like asking Spirit to make them go away, you know, and then asking Spirit, why did you, it's almost as if you're bringing that anger and that hurt and that violence, because it almost, I was about to call the cops. If I had heard, you know, the guy, he sounded like he was about to push somebody into the street, his girlfriend or whatever she was. And so much profanity, so much darkness, jealousy, lots of jealousy. And I asked Spirit, why are you bringing that to essentially my doorstep? Why are you bringing that here? Why have you brought that here so many times? I'm not kidding you. It's like right underneath my bedroom window. And I thought about that before I even turned the camera on today, because it's part of my message to you from Spirit. That, you know, the guy sounded like he was going to get violent, but I could also hear the hurt in his voice. That does not excuse that behavior in any way. It does not excuse the profanity. It does not excuse the impending violent behavior on either side. No excuse for that. We're not animals. Like we should not be behaving in that way if we call ourselves human beings. However, when we're in a state of such hurt, I could hear it in his voice. Even when I wanted to just like call the cops on all of them, I could hear it in his voice. And whether or not it was founded or unfounded, or she did this and he did this, ultimately, we're coming up against a place of misunderstanding with our loved ones. And right now, Spirit wants me to tell you that story, because if you are coming up against a place of misunderstanding with your loved ones, then it's up to you, right? We can't control what other people do. It's up to you to be self-conscious of it, to be self-aware of your own actions. And if you're lashing out, why are you lashing out? And then to stop and think, why are you lashing out? And to be contemplative about it, calm about it, as much as you humanly can. It's so hard, but Spirit wants me to bring that. It's so important. Whatever is gestating in this, whatever is going to emerge from this, that it's something built on the premise of love, of understanding, of, oh my goodness. It just, I feel like there's some strife here, you know, and especially with this card. And it's time to bring that to a close. And you know what they just said? Even if it means you are erecting your own boundaries, which means you step away and you let everybody duke it out and you step away, because in that moment, that's the only thing you can do. And maybe it'll feel like you're abandoning something, but you're not. Because what does Brene Brown say? What did Brene Brown say anyway? I'm going to paraphrase it here. She said something like, when we don't speak the truth to another, we start a war within. She said it much more eloquently, but it's something like that. Like when you don't speak your truth, then you're starting the war with inside yourself. The last one is the emotional state. You have the Page of Wands in the reverse, the Four of Wands in the reverse. So in the upright, this is a card of a solid foundation, something built on a solid foundation, walking through this portal of happiness. Of these two characters are celebrating. They're kind of castle in the background. Everybody's happy, right? So, and the Page of Wands is, again, page energy is beginner mind. So it's this idea of brand new ideas and making something happen. But if we do a little tarot math, which is what I like to call it, 4 of Wands plus 1 wand equals 5 wands. So the emotional state here being a little turbulent, a little, you know, not knowing where you stand. Not knowing, you don't know where you stand right now emotionally. Maybe you haven't, maybe you're so busy trying to solve so many problems for other people that you haven't taken a moment to figure out how it is that you feel, what it is that you want. And that's okay. This isn't a reading to make you feel like crap, right? This is a reading to help you. I'm going to ask Spirit for some advice right now. There's this place of confusion right now. King of Cups in the reverse. This is a Scorpio energy. It is precisely what I was just talking about. King of Cups knows, he's full of emotions. He doesn't always show it, but he's well aware of what he feels and how he expresses it. He's very loving to other people, but also very composed. And right now, Spirit is saying it's time for you to bring that back to yourself, to understand your emotional landscape. Because right now, it could actually be the thing that is working against you. It could be the thing that is toxic, is your own, and please take this with the best intent, with the best of intentions. It's your own ignorance to your feelings about what's going on. And okay, maybe now I just heard, well, I know exactly how I feel. It's just what do I do about it, right? So it's kind of, this is where I find, and this is just my opinion, that your connection with Spirit is where that next level comes in. Okay, you know how you feel, fantastic. What do I do about it? How do I help my family? Number one, it starts by helping yourself. So being able, if you're facing what those two young people were facing yesterday, they were literally screaming at each other, profanities, such hatred, jealousy. They couldn't even stop to listen. There was no chance of that. There was absolutely no space for listening. So when you are able to be right in your heart and know how you feel, nothing can make you jealous. Nothing can make you triggered, because you already worked through all those triggers. This is way easier said than done, but it doesn't make it any less true, at least in my opinion. And in my life, I know exactly what triggers me and who triggers me. So I might lash out, but I'm going to come home and then I'm going to meditate on it and say, why did that person have so much power over me? Why did I let that happen? I let it happen. So Spirit is asking you, don't let it happen. It's a mastery over oneself. Let me pull one more card. Six of Cups in reverse. See, now the emotional cards are coming out. Six of Cups is a nostalgia card. Traditionally, this represents a brother-sister energy, and you got it in the reverse. The expression, let bygones be bygones, just flashed through my brain. Easier said than done. Let bygones be bygones, especially when there's been such hurt. You know, I just heard, you know, I might be able to forgive, but I won't forget. That seems about right. You don't have to forget. You're definitely not looking at it with fondness. But maybe this is also a card of learning from the past. Let's learn from the past so that we're not doomed to repeat it. So if you find yourself in these triggering cycles, remember, you are the one to break the family curses, the generational curses, the family lineage healing. That's you. And right now, something is building in here. Something is being constructed. A rebuilding, perhaps. And we're trying to find a way so that everyone, I guarantee you, if you do healing on yourself, it will only benefit others. They may not see it that way, but spiritually it will. So that's your reading. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell notification so that you can be updated when I post new readings. Bye, everybody.